happiness is you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
This is a gentleman that I've met just recently, and based on the conversation we just had about burnout, he's got some fantastic ideas about how to transform care with gratitude. So please welcome Andrew Horn.
We all have pain, we all have sorrow.
Good morning. All right, I can hear you. So today, we're going to talk about technology and gratitude innovation. But I want to acknowledge something first, and that is that I know that it's early, and so I want to make you a promise and give you a preview. So my promise is that I'm not going to stand up here for the next 25 minutes and rattle off a bunch of facts. My promise is that I am going to tell you two stories. I'm going to showcase some of the most compelling research that we've found about gratitude and its ability to transform our health and happiness. And most importantly, I'm going to ground everything we do today in tangible takeaways and technology recommendations that you can use the second you walk out of the door. How does that sound? Awesome. All right. So to tell you about Tribute, to tell you about my journey to gratitude, I have to tell you about a gift, but not just any gift. 3 years ago on my birthday, my girlfriend, Mickey, decided that she was going to get me something really special. So she sent an email out to 25 of my closest friends and family members, these people that you see right here. She asked each of these people to submit a 1-minute video telling me why they love me. She took each of those videos, she compiled them into one montage. And when I got home that night, each one of them was standing behind that door, surprise party. Halfway through that party, my girlfriend jumps up onto a chair. She says, "Everyone in the living room." So we scurry over into the living room. I plant myself in the back of that room, no idea what's going on. She had rented a projector. She puts the picture up on the wall and she hits play. One by one, my mother, my father, my brother, my best friend in New York City, each one of them telling me exactly why they love me, why they appreciate me. So I'm planted in the back of the room, 3-sport athlete, New York tough guy, but not really. I was bawling my eyes out. And I did that for the next 20 minutes, and when I came out of it, I had my first thought. And my first thought was that, wow, I just watched my eulogy while still alive. And then I had my second thought, wow, what a better time to experience your eulogy. I looked at my girlfriend, Mickey, and said, "This is the best gift I've ever received. How'd you do it?" And she looks back at me, she smiles, and she says, "Well, it sucked." She had to send out hundreds of emails to remind people. She had to collect files through Dropbox and Drive. And then last but not least, she had to edit the entire thing together in iMovie. It took her 15 hours to do it. Me being the technologist and entrepreneur that I was, we had the light bulb moment. It should not take 15 hours to create the most meaningful gift on earth, so we started Tribute. And Tribute automates the process of inviting a community, collecting videos, and building one of these gratitude-filled montages you can give on any occasion. And it started as a simple project to replicate that joy I felt in the back of that apartment. But it's certainly scaled. In the past year, we've given tens of thousands of tributes to people all over the world. New Yorker calls us Hallmark 2.0, but why we're here today is because we're on a mission to spread gratitude in the world, and that's why this company exists. And so quickly, what is gratitude? Gratitude is simply said the state of being thankful. It can be about a person, it can be about a thing, it can be about ourselves. Gratitude can be tangible, it can be intangible, it can be about the past, the present, or the future. One of my favorite quotes is that gratitude is the quickest path to happiness. And a lot of research backs that up. And where I want to start today is some of the compelling research about how gratitude can make us healthy. We start with some of these interesting facts that we discovered while preparing for the talk. Is that practicing gratitude heightens our immune system and while blood cells to fight disease, decreases stress hormones like cortisol by up to 23%, decreases blood pressure and heart rate variability, makes people less likely to use tobacco products, and 36% more time in the gym, making our bodies healthier. What about our minds? Practicing gratitude improves our self-esteem, our ability to deal with trauma, risk of depression, and most importantly for this conference, it's linked to empathy. And one little bonus fact, people who practice gratitude are 20% more likely to donate to charity. They have more connections in their local community. And I promise you that we're going to ground everything in tangible technology and takeaways. And so you can do this by practicing a gratitude journal, which a lot of research has shown can make you happier by up to 25%. So you can go old school and use the gratitude meditation, which is simply waking up in the morning and going to bed, acknowledging 3 things that you're grateful for and 3 things that you're looking forward to, because optimism, the future, that's gratitude as well. Or you can use one of the many apps that are out there to actually articulate your gratitude every day. One of our favorites is the Gratitude app. And so at this point, you might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with patience? And to tell you, I need to introduce you to Felipe. Felipe is a father of 3. He's a husband. We were introduced to Felipe in the fall of 2014. Our friend Lauren got in touch and she said, my good friend has just been diagnosed with cancer of his leg. I'm across the country, but we want to do something to support him. With Felipe's permission, I'm going to show you a video about what happened next.
Hey, Philippe.
Hey, Philippe.
Hi, Philippe and Jules.
Hi, Philippe, Julia.
Hi, Philippe and Julia.
Keep believing in yourself.
Hi, Philippe and Julia.
Hi, Philippe and Julia.
My friend. My brother.
I'm just wishing you all the best love and support and recovery.
Thinking about you and hope you're doing well.
It's meant so much to me to see a smile on your face.
Impressed and encouraged and moved we've been by your spirit through the whole experience.
Passion that springs from their hearts has given birth to friendships, babies, and an army of love.
You've been one of the most sweet, kind-hearted, and genuinely grateful people that I've known through Connecticut College.
Wishing you a quick and speedy recovery. We're thinking of you guys.
You just have this light and this amazing energy.
I am in awe of your courage and your strength.
I just wanted to send you a message of encouragement or however you want to take it, and just let you know that I'm thinking about you and your family.
Hope you're feeling better. Just want to say, hang in there.
Thank you for bringing this world so much love and so much joy.
It's wonderful to see your courage and your smiles.
Hope you're feeling better.
Glad you got rid of the cancer.
We love you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
I'm sending you so much love from Breckenridge.
Hoping that you're feeling well.
Thank you, that you're so incredible. I love you guys. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always here for you.
I think about you often, and I won't stop until you tell me to.
So 3 days after we delivered that, I got a message in my inbox. It was from Felipe. And this is what it said. I'm speechless that you put this whole thing together. Thank you so much. For lack of better words, I'm just, wow. Thank you. This is amazing. It was in that moment that I realized that Felipe had experienced that same kind of transcendent joy that I felt sitting in the back of that apartment. And then I had a thought about how powerful that could be for a patient. And later, we were inspired to start our Give Tribute program, which gets tribute to hospital partners, which basically makes our service available free of charge for any patient in the midst of a difficult medical journey. And I think that our program and similar ones are all grounded in this central truth, which is that connecting our patients to their community of supporters is vital for health and for healing. Strong social ties have been linked to fewer immuno as well as cardiovascular issues and lower levels of stress. They're linked directly to a positive mental attitude, which promotes optimism, our perception of care. Harvard recently released a 75-year study of 750 people. The director of that study, Robert Waldinger, said front and center, the clearest message we can take from this is that good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. So if we understand the value of these social ties, we need to understand the value of gratitude, because gratitude is one of the most effective communication techniques to foster deep connection with those social ties. And here's why. When we express gratitude for someone, it allows the recipient to feel those characteristics and those virtues that their community is mirroring them. When they feel those things, it can boost their self-esteem and mindset. What also happens is that when we're articulating gratitude, we're re-articulating those feelings of appreciation and recognition, magnifying them within ourselves. So for Felipe, when people are telling him why they love him, they're reminding themselves of that. They're more connected and likely to be engaged. And one of the most beautiful things that happens with gratitude is something we call the gratitude loop, is that when Felipe receives all those videos from his friends, he's more likely to reciprocate that and tell them why he's grateful for them. But not just his friends, the people in his life, which could be nurses, which could be doctors. That's why gratitude is so powerful. And at Tribute, we've created 2 of these very simple techniques that anyone can use to infuse their communication with gratitude. The first is called the power of the prompt. And because the reality is that telling someone that you love them, that you admire them, why you respect them, can be a scary thing. There's some anxiety involved with that. And what we know is that when people don't know what to say, they often don't say anything at all. When we use the power of the prompt with questions, we don't just reach out to Felipe's community and say, send a video. What we say is, why do you love Felipe? How are you going to support Felipe? What do you admire about Felipe? So now those recipients are answering a question. And now internally they've identified their authentic emotion and appreciation for this person. They're going to be able to express that more effectively. Prompts are powerful. The next is not I love you. This technique comes to us via Robert Cialdini, the author who wrote one of the most influential books on persuasion and communication. The book is actually called Influence. And in it, he has one statement. What he says is that it is not our statement of affection that impacts the recipient. It is our explanation of that statement that impacts the recipient. So it is not I love you, it is I love you because. Because when we reach out to Felipe, it's not I love you, get well soon. It's Felipe, I love you because you are the kindest person I've met at Connecticut College. I love you because your smile lights up every single room that you walk into. That because leaves a qualifier that adds a level of authenticity that lets the recipient know that you're not just kicking it, that you're actually thinking about this, and most importantly, that you truly see them. That's why gratitude is so powerful for our communication. A lot of people are talking about the importance of community. This is the U.S. Surgeon General, Vivek Murthy.
How do we make health and the pursuit of health a team sport? Any of you who have tried to change your diet or have tried to go on a new exercise regimen know that health is not a solo journey, that it's not easy to do just on our own, but we have to help each other, we have to motivate each other. And that's why community can be such a powerful tool when it comes to improving our health. But the challenge that we face now is too many people are on their own. And the question then before us is, can technology enable people to support each other in changing their lives for the better?
One of the things he talks about is too many people being alone. Patient isolation is dangerous. Perceived isolation sets off a cellular chain reaction that increases inflammation and suppresses the body's immune response. It's been linked to feelings of pessimism, which can negatively impact the patient's well-being and perceptions of care. This one absolutely blew my mind, that having a weak social tie was as harmful to ongoing health as being an alcoholic and twice as harmful as obesity. As harmful as being an alcoholic, twice as harmful as having obesity. And like he said, one of the biggest challenges in health is, can technology help to combat this isolation? And the answer is yes. There are platforms that can foster authentic connection. And I want to lead with CaringBridge, which I think most of you probably know about, but I want to talk about why it's important. It's because when people are using large platforms like Facebook and Instagram, they're not being real, they're sharing the highlight reel. is that we cannot be authentic. With CaringBridge, we can create a private portal where people can communicate authentically with a selected group. They can be authentic, they can share the struggle, that fosters connection. One of the other things that we've learned while running Tribute is that one of the easiest ways to add depth to your relationships is to support and allow yourself to be supported. And oftentimes that support can take the form of monetary donations. Two of our favorite sites that facilitate this is one called Generosity by Indiegogo. Indiegogo is the premier crowdfunding platform on the planet. They started this platform last year called Generosity that is fee-free for any patient or community cause. Wonderful technology. The next is Post Hope. Post Hope is a blend of CaringBridge as well as Generosity. It has the ability to actually create a portal where you can communicate with family and friends. It also allows you to fundraise for a cause. This one in the middle is one of my favorite. It's called Bond. And for better or for worse, we're sending less greeting cards these days. Bond is trying to rectify that with machines. What Bond does is when a friend of mine gets diagnosed with a major illness, I go there, I type up my message, a machine will pick out a handwriting of my choice, it will write that with a quill pen, and so now when that person opens up that card, is drenched in the thoughtfulness of a card, which is much more accessible. We talked about Tribute before, and we can move on from there. So yes, technology can foster authentic connection. And a quick shout out to our hosts while I was on their site. I noticed that they have this gift card initiative where they actually enable patients and families to type in a message and they'll actually hand deliver a physical card to the families. A beautiful initiative. So we've talked about cultivating gratitude. We've talked about grateful communication. We've talked about connecting patients to their community. But now, I want to talk about us. I want to talk about cultivating a culture of gratitude. And as I prepared for this talk and I spoke with Adrienne, it became so apparent how deeply she cares about supporting caregivers. We need to consider this, that if we want to take care of patients, we need to take care of each other. And as some of us know, I'm not going to go in depth because Tate's speaking about this, but more than half of physicians report one symptom of burnout for very real reasons, for staff cuts, pay imbalances, less time with patients. These are very real. But something else that is real is that we can increase engagement with gratitude. Adam Grant and Francesca Gino, recent study, a thank you from a superior gives people a strong sense of both self-worth and self-efficacy. It has a spillover effect that those people are more likely to help each other and other people in their office. In a national survey from the Templeton Foundation, they found that almost all respondents in the workplace said that saying thank you to colleagues made employers happier and more fulfilled. Almost all. A recent study at Wharton was working with fundraising professionals and found that a study of actually giving them a pep talk, telling them that they're appreciated, was leading to increases of 50% in productivity. So gratitude matters. And we're up against something very real. Even in an industry like healthcare, where we have numerous feedback systems, oftentimes it feels like they're not about compliments, they're only about complaints. So again, from that same survey from Templeton Foundation, 60% said that they either never express gratitude at work or do so perhaps once a year, even after acknowledging that it makes them happier. 35% of those respondents said that expressing any gratitude could lead them to take advantage of them. And one thing that really shook me is that supervisors are less likely to share gratitude because they feel the gratitude they receive is inauthentic. So it's starting at the top, which is scary. But we can build a culture of gratitude. And I talked about takeaways, and I want to give you 3 things that we can do right now to build a culture of gratitude. And the first thing we need to understand as leaders is that it starts at the top. We need to adopt the be nice first mentality and not wait for someone else to thank us or recognize us first. Research backs us up. 93% of people thought that grateful bosses were going to be more successful. Only 18% of those people felt that it shows weakness. If we want a grateful culture, our leaders have to be the ones that exemplify it. We start there. The next, and one of the most effective, is making time after a weekly meeting. Whether it's weekly, monthly, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, set the stage for people to talk about who has impacted their work. One of the most important facets of sharing gratitude, establishing a culture of recognition, is authenticity. And we can't force people to share their gratitude and appreciation. We can only set the stage for it. And that's exactly what this does. Give people the prompt, allow them to do it. Then we can look at the classic employee of the week, the month. 2 things we need to consider. Focusing on the employees that are working on the less glamorous positions. And also, not just giving a gift card or physical gifts, but encouraging our employees to share their gratitude for those people receiving awards. And the last and one of the most effective is creating a physical token, a reminder that gratitude is celebrated at your workplace. You can do that analog, or you can do that digital. In a digital world, a lot of us use internal messaging apps like Slack, or we have an intranet at work. For us at Tribute, we actually have a section on our site, and it just says props. And that's the one place where we know if we want to say thank you, it lives there. We have a full record of everything we've ever said. It reminds us that that's how we communicate. Or you can do it in the offline world. Go to Amazon the second you walk out of here. Spend $40 on a whiteboard. Drop it in the most popular hallway in your workplace, and just write gratitude board on top of it. Be the first person to share one comment on that board and watch it fill up. Show your employees that that's celebrated where you are. And the next one that we need to encourage everyone to do is to go beyond thank you. Is that details make a difference when we are giving compliments and thanks. Similar to what C.L. Dini said about I love you because, we need to recognize that it is not enough to say thanks. You need to tell them how the work made you feel. John, I want to thank you so much for taking my shift last week. I was so exhausted and now I'm totally charged up. It made a huge difference. You need to say, Nancy, thank you so much for proofreading that proposal. If we didn't catch those errors, we never would have got this contract. Details make a difference. And now I want to leave you with one thought. One idea that can transform your ability to infuse your life, the lives of your patients, and your workplace with gratitude. How many people remember hearing this statement 100 times growing up? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Well, at Tribute, we found something out. If you take 3 words out of that, it becomes infinitely more powerful. Try one more time. If you have anything nice to say, say it all. If you see a nurse crying with a patient, going the extra mile, if you see the doctor pulling extra shifts, if you see the front desk agent who always has a smile on her face, just remember, if you have anything nice to say, say it all. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Andrew with Tribute.